Hey, good afternoon to you. It's the Great White Capper. This is my first of many NFL Week 1 matchup previews. Thursday night, the action kicks off. We have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Super Bowl champs, Seattle. Last time we saw these Seahawks, they were in the process of beating the fuck out of the Denver Broncos 43-8. A humiliating loss for the Broncos, sent them back to the drawing board. Green Bay Packers, also one of a disappointing effort last year. They had issues with injuries, as a lot of teams do in this league. Come in, highly anticipated Monday night matchup. Just want to dig into a little bit of numbers, talk about what I think will be important to this game. I don't want to ramble too long, but I want to touch on some key points. I do have a few stats. I mean, we can look at numbers all day long on this game, and if you go back over the last 3 seasons and look at the against the spread numbers, it's a lopsided affair, to say the least. I mean, the Seahawks have been incredibly impressive, 26-11 against the spread in all games the last 3 seasons. I will note 17-10 against the spread as a favorite. Home games, spectacular, 13-5. Against conference opponents, 20-8. And these are over the last 3 seasons. Early 6-2 early last 3 seasons, games in September. And essentially the opposite. Green Bay has been slow starters, 2-5 in September, 16-17, a coin flip in all games. As an underdog, an abysmal 2-7 the last 3 years of the Packers. Everything that you go down these numbers and look points you to Seattle in this game. It's so easy to step up and want to bet on the Seahawks in this opener, and they may crush. Don't get me wrong, they may crush. If you want to just play it strictly by the numbers, yeah, Seahawks crush. I would just suggest not falling into the trap of making Seattle a huge play in this game. I mean, obviously, everybody thinks they're going to win. They probably will win. You know, why wouldn't they win? They've been one of the most dominant home teams, great home fan base. Everybody gets into it when it's a Seattle Seahawks game. The one thing I will point out about those numbers, the 26-11 in the last 3 seasons, as in all games against the spread, 10 of those 11 losses have come when they are a favorite. Now, granted, the record is still sharp. 17-10 is a sharp mark as a favorite. But when they do fail to cover the number, make that Vegas spread, 10 of the 11 times the last 3 seasons, 90% of the time, it has been in the role of a favorite. We know these teams played the infamous game a couple years ago with the replacement refs, the fiasco, the 14-12 Seahawks win. It was just a crazy, unbelievable finish to the game. Essentially was a huge bargaining chip for the regular refs in their negotiations with the league to return to action. It was a crazy game. I think everybody remembers it. The thing I like about Rodgers, now here's the thing about Rodgers. If they get out front early somehow, I mean, he's got Jordy Nelson. I feel kind of dumb. The other receiver off the top of my head is slipping my mind. And I noticed when they played Seattle before, the pass rush, that's the big question for Green Bay. How can this offensive line hold up? I will note that of the 8 sacks I think they've had against Rodgers of late, the guys that had half of them, I guess half of that front 4 for Seattle is, I believe, now in Jacksonville. So maybe that'll give a little bit of comfort to Aaron Rodgers not to have to look at those same dudes again. And also, speaking with a friend of mine, and I think the theory actually has a little bit of legs. I'm not sure how much it will affect this game. But the new rule in the NFL concerning the handling, I guess you could call it, of receivers coming off the line. Me personally, I feel my observation is this rule is almost written specifically for a team like the Seahawks, who man up on teams, physical with the receivers, jam them, push them, knock them off their routes. And with a fierce pass rush, that enables them just to need to quickly, disturb the receiver with that little physical bump, and the pass rush, the quarterback has to let it go or he's going down. I think this rule might affect them the most. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I think it could affect them. We'll see how the refs call this game Thursday night, if they're going to continue to implement the rule to the strict letter of the law, as they have been in some of these preseason games, or are they going to allow the action to go back to a normal flow? Watching the game Thursday night is the way we'll find out. With all that said, I also want to discuss my power numbers. I have a list. I think I put it up on my website earlier. It's a tool I use. I don't necessarily make my plays based solely on the numbers, but I gave Seattle 100 to start the season as I ranked them as the best team. And it goes all the way down to, I believe this year, I've got Oakland at 88 as the worst team in the league. So, and Jacksonville also is at an 88. Basically what I do is I compare my numbers to create my own line to get a feel for the value of the Vegas spread. And I feel my ratings hold water in terms of being able to track a line. I know how to adjust the chart. I've been doing it for a long time. However, like I said, it's a tool to use, not necessarily something to hold fast to. You need to learn how to analyze the data and the results it produces. Sometimes it produces good fade plays, so you have to be aware of how to use this chart effectively. But like I say, it is almost a necessity if you're going to strictly handicap these games to have some way to put your own value on the line. You have to somehow, whether you just imagine the game and you're accurately able to go through your mind and determine the flow of the action to the final gun, or you need to be able to assign a value to a team and know in certain matchups what the line in a game should be. That's what gives you value on the point spread. That's what makes a good play. You're looking for mistakes in the line. You're looking to play the percentages that if I can keep hammering away when the line I believe is wrong, I can cash. That's what I'm playing for. I'm playing to find the mistakes in the line. I'm not playing for my favorite team. I'll put out these action bets like Thursday night. It's an action bet. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put 1 unit on Green Bay plus the 6. Old school players might know this. Guys more my age, I'm getting to be pretty old. You might recall there used to be a time when fading the Super Bowl champ on opening weekend was just like a common play. I mean, it's been over a decade, probably long. I'm giving away my age. But there was a time I know in my earlier gambling career that was a great play to make. You didn't look at the number, you just did. And it was based on perception, public perception that the favorites will get. It'll get to be overwhelming. And at some point, things just get overbet. At 26-11, absurdly, over 70%, roughly, with doing the math in my head, over the last 3 seasons, that cannot be maintained. Seattle will have the number catch up to them. That will turn around. Whether it happens Thursday night, I can't say. But I know they won't go 70+% against the spread the next 3 years. That number will somewhat balance somehow, some way. Whether the spread has to go to the moon on these games, I don't know. But the numbers will adjust. They always do. So I guess my key observation and my key recommendation for this Thursday night game is don't necessarily go crazy on Seattle. And if you do and you win, congratulations. I just feel like this could be a spot not to hammer Seattle. Don't do it is my recommendation. Me personally, I'm going chump change on Green Bay. We'll enjoy the game. The NFL season's back. Come to my website. I'm going to try to do more videos like these for other games this week. My NFL top bet of the week, you'll be up at the site. You'll be able to get the information. I went 13-3-1 last season, 81%, isolating the very best bet on the board each week and cashing. I cashed a lot of tickets on good plays last year. A lot of those 13 wins were easy. Some were sweats. A couple were lucky. But for the most part, they were solid all year long. And I hope I'm able to even come close to that kind of result. I'm certainly not going to guarantee that this year. That was a phenomenal season. I'm going to look to try to keep, by working hard, not throwing out bullshit, really working these games. The games I want to bet on are the games I want you to bet on. That's just the way I work. I'm not guessing games or picking games. I'm betting games. So I hope you guys have a great day. I think my baseball best bet to throw it up for you tonight, Detroit Verlander. I had a 5-game MLB best bet streak ended yesterday when Atlanta failed to put up any runs for damn near the 3rd consecutive game, 20-plus innings with zeros on the goose eggs on the scoreboard. I noticed as I got ready to shoot the video, they had put up 7 runs in their game today. Of course, that's the way that works, right? But Detroit Verlander, throw out to you that from the way I view pitchers, and if you watch these videos, I hark on pitching in baseball. He's on the uptick. I called it about maybe 6 weeks ago. I would expect at some point you would start to see a gradual increase in his throwing. He's just a solid MLBer, and these performances have been gutty by him. He hasn't had his best stuff, but he's worked through these outings and gotten decent results. Tonight, Verlander is an underdog taking. That's my best bet tonight in the MLB. I'm at the 11-minute. Probably nobody's going to watch this shit this long, but I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support. We're going to do well this season. Keep your eye out for more videos. Great White Capper. I'll talk to you later. Bye.